Grandpa Mort is dying, and Bluey has no idea. Grandpa Mort isn't just Bluey's silly granddad, who likes adventures. He's Chili's dad, and behind all the fun, there's something quietly heartbreaking going on. He recently had heartworm surgery. For dogs, that can be deadly if caught too late. But in Seesaw, Chili casually says they'll visit him next week, like it's no big thing. Then the next episode, Granddad drops, and suddenly he's sprinting through the forest, dodging Chili like a kid who doesn't want to take his medicine. He acts like everything's fine and shows no signs of pain, no signs of surgery. But why? Why would a man recovering from something so serious be out here running around? What's he trying to prove? Or maybe, what's he trying to hide? Let's start from scratch. From the very start of the episode, something feels wrong. Mort, clearly not ready for any physical activity, starts chopping wood like it's any other day. But it's not. Chili notices right away and tells him to stop, but Mort ignores her. He grabs his gear and takes off into the bush, with Bluey and Bingo following behind. What should have been a quiet visit quickly turns into a full-blown chase. Mort makes it a game, hiding in mud, leading the kids through trails, and even using sprinklers to dodge Chili. He's quick, playful, and stubborn, but with every step, his body starts to show signs of struggle. He's coughing, his breathing is heavier. Little by little, the chase starts to wear him down. Mort isn't just running for fun, he's running from something much heavier. He knows his body is slowing down. The surgery, the coughing, the way Chili worries, it all reminds him that things are changing, and he's not ready to face that yet. He doesn't want Bluey and Bingo to see him as weak. He wants to be the granddad who climbs trees, tells stories, and keeps up with their energy. That's the version he wants them to remember. So, he runs. Not just through the bush, but from the truth. When Chili finally catches up, he says quietly, "It should have been up to me." He's not just talking about going outside too soon. He's talking about losing control over his choices, over his body. At the cabin, everything finally catches up with Chili. The chase, the fear, the way her dad keeps brushing off how serious this all is. She's not angry, but when she speaks with Maynard, it hits harder than any argument ever could.
I still need him.
That's all she says, just 4 words. But Mort hears it, and for the first time, he stops running. He just stands there, listening to his daughter, really seeing how scared she's been this whole time. Not just about his health, but about losing him. That moment shifts everything, because this isn't the first time the family has quietly grieved. While much attention is given to Grandpa Bob's absence, Chili's mother is hardly mentioned, though her absence cuts just as deep. In episodes like Dragon in the Show, it's subtly hinted that Chili lost her mother when she was young, and Bluey doesn't even remember her. Chili's goodbye to her imaginary horse and dragon wasn't just fantasy, it was a heartfelt moment, a final thank you to her mom before letting go of the pain. Some fans speculate her mother passed away from something like cancer, with the family given the chance to say goodbye. Others think Mort's silence around it speaks volumes. He's already said farewell to a loved one, and now faces the same reality with himself. It's as though he's been through this heartbreak before, and doesn't want to relive it. Chili's attachment to her father is understandable. She's already experienced the loss of one parent. The thought of losing Mort too? It's a quiet erosion of the last remnants of her childhood, the final piece slipping away. This subtle grief runs like an undercurrent through everything, shaping the way the family members navigate their lives, and especially the way Chili holds on tightly to what she has left. That's why Mort's decision to stop isn't dramatic. There's no collapse, no big speech. He simply sits down by the water, letting Bluey and Bingo race ahead without him. The chase, once filled with energy and games, ends quietly. Not because Chili caught him, but because Mort finally admits he can't keep up anymore. It's a quiet surrender. He doesn't try to explain, he just says he needs to rest. In that moment, he's not the strong, invincible grandpa trying to keep up with the kids. He's just an older man finally being honest with himself. The kids continue to play, oblivious, but Chili understands. She watches from a distance, knowing what this moment means. She joins him, sitting beside her father in the quiet. Their conversation feels light on the surface, but it's layered with unspoken truths. Things have changed a lot since the last time I came to the city. Kids are still kids though, she says, trying to keep the mood light.
I remember when you used to take me swimming here. That was a long time ago.
Mort's reply is simple.
No, it was yesterday.
It's not just about swimming or taking a break. This moment is Mort finally facing the truth he's been avoiding for so long. Chili, too, has been scared to voice it. But here, in this stillness, they both acknowledge the weight of what's happening. Mort is offering one last memory, one final adventure, before quietly saying goodbye. The episode ends with a powerful flashback. Chili sits in the same spot by the water, but this time, it's different. Her father's hand used to rest around her, a moment of comfort and safety. Now, years later, she's older, bigger, and sitting in that very spot alone with her dad. The change is subtle but significant. Time has passed. The signs are easy to miss if you're not looking, but once you see them, they're everywhere. The way Mort flexes his thumbs, trying to shake off the pain, how his breath catches after every sprint, the pause at the fork in the trail, like he's not sure he can take another step. In the real world, heartworm doesn't go away with rest and sunshine. It's dangerous, especially for older dogs. And Mort, no matter how strong he acts, is not the same grandpa he once was. This bush adventure might have looked like a fun game, but underneath, it feels like something more. A final push. It's one last run before slowing down for good. He wanted his grandkids to remember him like this. Muddy, smiling, full of life. Not sick, not weak, not fading. But the truth is, he's fading anyway. And this might be the last time we see him like this. Laughing, running, leading the way. Time doesn't stop for anyone, not even Mort. The final canoe trip isn't just a peaceful ending. It's a quiet, symbolic goodbye. Mort sits still while Bluey and Bingo paddle ahead, his hands resting in his lap, eyes fixed on the water. He's no longer leading the way. He's watching, gently letting go as the next generation moves forward without him. There's no big speech, no dramatic moment, just a soft surrender to what comes next. The river itself feels like a message. Water always means change. Shifting tides, new directions, the unknown. It doesn't stop or wait. It carries you, whether you're ready or not. That slow, steady movement says more than words ever could, and Mort knows it. He doesn't fight it, he just drifts with it. Then there's the talk about seeds. What sounds like a simple chat about fruit is really about something deeper, about aging, about losing control, about the fear of not having a say. It should have been up to me, he says. And suddenly the canoe, the river, the seeds, they all mean something more. They speak to choice, to endings, and to how we quietly pass things on before we go. It's been quiet since Mort's big adventure. Not a single scene, not even a mention. For a character that once ran through the bush, outsmarted his daughter, and made his grandkids laugh, it's a heavy silence. It feels like the show has already said what it needed to say without saying it outright, that this was his goodbye. The episode didn't end in tragedy, it ended in stillness, in warm light, gentle hugs, and quiet reflection. That's how this show handles the hard stuff. Not with long talks or sad music, but with moments that feel like memories. A chase through the trees, a swim at the cabin, a canoe drifting across a calm river. If Mort's story is ending, the writers aren't going to make it loud. They'll do what they always do. They'll wrap it in play. They'll tuck the grief between jokes and let us feel it slowly, scene by scene. They've already shown us how they handle loss, with love, with stories, and with a kind of softness that lingers long after the episode ends. So maybe we've already said our goodbyes, not with words, but with the way Chili looked at her dad, and the way he finally sat down. And that's the thing about Bluey. This show doesn't shy away from the tough stuff. It brings big topics into small, relatable moments, like how kids play to understand the world around them. Mort's story is a quiet lesson in grief. He's not just the fun-loving granddad. He represents something deeper, the reality of aging, of holding on to joy even as things change. The show never directly says Mort is dying. It doesn't need to. Every action, every small detail builds up to that truth. The way he pushes himself even when he can't keep up. The quiet moments where he's just sitting, watching, as if the world is slowly passing him by. The playful chase turns into a silent surrender. It's all there, hidden in plain sight. And for the parents watching, it's a gut punch. You see the lessons in Bluey's play and realize they mirror the hard truths we all face about losing loved ones, about watching family change, and about trying to keep things light even when the weight of it all is too much. The show isn't just talking to kids. It's reminding adults that loss is inevitable, but love is what lasts. Mort's story teaches us something important. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to want to run from the tough stuff. But sometimes, the hardest thing is to slow down, admit you need help, and just rest. That's where true strength lies. Mort didn't need to keep pretending everything was fine. The quiet moment, the surrender, showed a deeper kind of bravery. In the end, it's about knowing when to let go, even when it's hard. That's the real lesson he leaves behind. See you next time, or maybe not.